How can you look stylish without trying? Well, let me show you my formula that no one else thinks of. Fashion as biohacking. Now, I've seen fashion change my entire life, and this is the exact process I use with my clients, as I'm a fashion stylist, and I'm going to give you my entire secret today. But we're only going to go into the first two today because otherwise the video will be too long, and the next two will be uploaded tomorrow. So let's get into it straight away. And this study was the first thing I saw which really opened my mind. In 2012, there was a lab coat study by Adam and Galinsky, and it showed that they put two groups together and they wore the same coat. But the first group, they told them that it's a painter's smock, like a painter's clothes while he's making a painting, right? And the other group, they told them that it's a doctor's coat. And what's interesting is that the doctors showed increased performance, increased focus, and fewer mistakes. And the painters had the opposite, right? So they came up with the theory of enclothed cognition. Enclothed cognition. And this is true. When you put on a nice outfit, you perform better in the day, right? So I looked at this study and I was like, wow, this is absolutely crazy. Now, every client that I style, I told them this psychological term, and they think this is like, what? It's literally biohacking, guys. And, in the first 7 seconds, humans have been conditioned to basically look at someone and tell them, their brain looks at if they're a safe person, if they're a competent person, are they a trustworthy person? Because there's 8 billion people in this world. So you have to constantly look at someone and see if they're a threat to you, right? This is just how humans have always been since the caveman days, right? So it's science. Therefore, evolutionary psychology shows us that humans are very visual in the first impression. So if you're very visual in the first impression, you have to dress up. So how can we use this to our advantage? Well, it's something that I call neural rewiring. Dress for the person you are becoming, and this is neuroplasticity. Dress for the person you are becoming, and you will become that person. If you're not dressing like that person, you're going to stay stuck in the past or in a former version of yourself that you don't want to be. So if you literally dress for success, you will be successful. A lot of people say dress for success, but they don't know what it means. They don't know this actual psychology behind it. And this is the psychology. So the 4 core fixes, and as I said before, we're going to go into the first 2. The first one is kill decision fatigue, ego depletion. And this is a very simple rule that I use for all my clients, the 3 formula rule. Now you can have more than 3 formulas. I have about 5, but the 3 formula rule makes it very simple for every single person in this world. First, have a formula for work, have a formula for social, and have a formula for casual as well. These 3 are all you pretty much need. And then you can have extra ones for special events and things like that. But if you have this 3 formula rule, it will kill all the decision fatigue you have in the morning. Most mornings you're probably looking at your wardrobe thinking, what do I wear for today? What can I wear? I don't know what to wear. I just look at my wardrobe, there's so many clothes in there, it's all randomized. So the 3 formula rule makes it so simple. And also, I talk a lot about authenticity in style. When your style is authentic and you're not dressing for fashion trends, then you will start to be more stylish because you dress for yourself, you don't dress for external validation, and you realize that you don't have to keep buying the new fashion trend. You can wear whatever you like and whatever is your style, and it will always look like you. It will always look like you're dressing for yourself rather than for other people. And when you do this, it opens up your mind, first of all, and it brings you a lot of confidence. When you have internal happiness, that's what brings you confidence instead of dressing for others. If you're constantly worrying about what other people are thinking, this is anxiety. And I suffer a lot from anxiety, so I can talk a lot about that. And you're worried about judgment. So if you instead have the 3 formula rule and combine it with authenticity and what is your authentic style, this is perfect. Watch my previous videos on signature style and fashion trends to rewire your brain in that way as well. So the curated palette. Limit your closet to 3 to 4 colors for auto matching. Now you can have more than 3 to 4 colors, of course. But if you're just new to this, limit it to 3 to 4 colors. If you love blue, that's one of your colors. So Schwartz explains that too much choice leads to a sloppy outfit because you get overwhelmed and settle for fine. Many men think like this. There's too many choices, so therefore they just stick to the very simple, like polo shirt, chinos, or loafers, whatever it might be. Very simple choice. Maybe the same thing every day, and it's nothing wrong with that. But it's if you're telling yourself that you just want a fine outfit, you just want a simple outfit. You're showing that you don't respect yourself, right? Because fashion is self-respect. Fashion is more than just clothes. If you think of your mindset as something that I'm just going to settle for less, you're going to settle for less in other parts of your life as well, your career, your dating, many things. Put effort into your outfits and you'll be forced to grow, like level up. So the fix to this is something that I call uniform batching. And for example, you can iron and hang full outfits in your wardrobe before the day that you need them. So on a Sunday, you can hang all your outfits for the first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And this is how you rewire your brain. So I use the example of Duhigg, who's a scientist, and in his study, The Power of Habit, he basically explained that when you preload things, when you put things together, it stops your brain from saying you're not enough, you're more than that. So this is something I really like to do because first of all, it forces you to think beforehand instead of on the day. And this makes the day itself easier in the morning. And beforehand, it gets you thinking like, what is my style? What can I do with this? What can I pair with that? So I always suggest doing that on a Sunday. And after the first 3 or 4 Sundays that you do it, it will become natural. You won't have to preload anymore. In the morning of the day, then it will become easy. You're like, okay, this is my style. I want to do this with that, and that's me. So this is something I really suggest with my clients, and it always helps them. Always preloading on a Sunday, and then it just becomes natural. So second of all is visual authority, which is the halo effect. And I've talked about the halo effect before, and this effect was introduced by a scientist called Thorndike. So when someone notices one positive attribute about you, they automatically assume other attributes about you. And Thorndike explained this as, if you look well dressed, other people will assume that you're disciplined, you're competent, and you're trustworthy. And every human wants to be assumed these things, right? So this is why it's important to be well dressed, to put effort into your outfits. So one thing that I always say to people is you should have an anchor piece. This is a very easy strategy, and it's a very easy fix to the problem of first impressions. When you have a piece that basically shows you as high status, just one item. It could be a very beautiful, elegant blazer, black blazer. Just put it on, and then you automatically feel high status. When someone looks at you, they think, wow, this person is really well dressed, because the shoulders of the blazer really accentuates your power, your authority. And this is an example, of course. Different pieces can make you feel very confident. For example, a nice chunky pair of sunglasses on a woman. And chunky sunglasses are, even though they're very in right now, and I said before, don't dress for trends, chunky sunglasses are a statement piece. They're just like a black blazer, right? So sometimes trends can be good, sometimes they can be bad. Just depends on if it suits you or not. But these are just examples. Of course, your style might be very different. Chunky sunglasses might not fit your face shape, for example. So take my examples as just examples and choose what suits you. If it doesn't look right in the mirror, trust your gut instinct. Your gut instinct is always right, almost always right. So the anchor piece is really good strategy that automatically makes it very easy. This will remove decision fatigue as well, because you'll think, okay, anchor piece. Okay, I really like these boots. These boots ground the whole outfit, for example. So grooming symmetry is also very important. And this was from a scientist called Little. And I can't remember the exact study. But grooming symmetry is really important, because when you have a sharp beard or a sharp haircut, fade, whatever it might be, this is an instant trust signal to other people that, okay, this person is always well groomed. He's always, every few days, he's putting effort into how he looks. And when I see another man with a really sharp beard all the time, and I see him again, and his beard is always on point, I think, okay, this guy gets a haircut every few days, and therefore he respects himself enough that he puts effort into his look. And therefore I trust him more. Because, if someone's sloppy in their appearance, you'll trust them less. If someone can't even respect themselves, how would they respect other people? How would they do in business? How can you trust someone in business if they can't put effort into their appearance? If you invest in yourself, you invest into other people. That's how I see it. And I'm not saying this as vanity. I'm saying it more as uh, self-respect. Tom Ford said, dressing well is a form of good manners. Dressing well is self-respect. And grooming is a part of your look. And therefore your grooming and your outfit should go hand in hand. So the fix to all of this is contrast control. And high contrast, such as black and white, and a color with a monochrome color, for example, it can lead to higher perceived authority to someone else looking at you. And this is from a scientist called Todorov. Apologize if I said that wrong, but Todorov said that it makes people perceive you as more decisive and more leader-like as well when you wear black and white together, any contrast colors together. Because if you, for example, wear a crisp white shirt with a black blazer, this signals to other people that you're using fashion as and color theory together, and this is very professional. This is something that most people often would not do. So crisp white shirt or any kind of example like this, if you're very intentional in the clothing piece that you wear to a meeting, this is very good. This is very, very good because different colors can signal different things. If you want to signal trust, wear blue. Blue is very often known to lower people's blue increases focus, and blue is a calming color. When you see blue, you're instantly calmed. For example, I'm at the beach right now. When you see water or any color blue or the sky, you're instantly calmed down. Or if you want to wear black, black is a color of authority. Black is a color that you want to be taken seriously. If you wear a color like beige, it's more of a calm color. So if you want to walk into a Sunday brunch meeting or a Sunday lunch, whatever it might be, wear a neutral color because Sundays are generally more casual compared to Monday to Friday, right? So this contrast control is really important actually, and it's from the study Economic Status Cues from Todorov. I really suggest reading that because that's a great read. And contrast control is something I always tell the business owners that I style, and the ones that work 9 to 5, because contrast control, it's a very important one. So basically, wear one polished item that elevates the entire outfit. One polished item. And you could wear more than one polished item, of course, but to have a simple rule, one polished item in each outfit. And for example, I really like this shirt. This is my polished item. Everything else is very toned down, but this shirt is polished. Then I have the accessories, the sunglasses, the bag, and the pants and the shoes, but the polished item is my shirt. And I'm not a very serious person. I'm more of a playful, I'm airy, spontaneous. I don't want to be taken seriously all the time. Of course, I do wear a suit sometimes, but that's not my personality. That's not my style to always be very proper. I'm more of a playful person. I want to be seen as someone that more creative person. So it depends on your style, and you have to find your signature style and how you want to show this through your style authentically. So these two things will make you so easy to look put together, to look stylish, very simply, and this will remove a lot of decision fatigue for you, and it will improve your first impressions instantly. And this is through science. This is scientifically backed to be true. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about the next two. These two are equally as important as these two. So I want to say one more thing. When you rewire your brain, you lead the room. I'm the same person I was 10 years ago. The only thing that's changed is my outfits and how I dress and how seriously I take mindset. Mindset is mental health. When you take care of your mindset, everything else levels up in your life. So I've always thought of fashion as mental health, fashion as psychology, fashion as self-expression, and people often combine fashion and confidence together, but they don't know why. I hope this video really helped you understand why fashion and mental health and confidence and self-expression go so well together. So please, guys, if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe, turn on the bell notification to get notified when the next video drops. And if you guys really enjoyed this, I have a freestyle confidence starter guide that goes into exactly why fashion is psychology in 23 pages, fully in depth, and it's free. So click the link in my bio to download that. And if you want to improve your style on a one-to-one basis, I am a stylist, so you can book a styling session in the link below. Please follow me on Instagram at bav.xo. The link will be below as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Dress better, live better.